Hi, it's Muffin again, and it's been a long time since I put a pop-up book on YouTube. And this one is from a trip we took, a bunch of girls from Alabama. And we went to London, and from London we went up to Edinburgh and Scotland and down through Wales. So this is my pop-up book. On the first page, when you open it, there's this little card, and it shows an airplane that circles the globe. It's because we had to fly. I also used a good many cutouts from magazines in this particular book. Things like Around the World and The Best New Book. This little character is a hedgehog, and I actually bought a little hedgehog stuffed animal, and she traveled with us the whole trip. And she came home to Alabama, and I believe my cats have found her and have carried her off because I cannot find her. But it starts out by saying, "My name is Mary Elizabeth Ann. You can call me May." And when you open up this gatefold, it shows you our itinerary and shows you where we flew into London and from London to York and Leeds. And it tells all the places we stopped. Amazing memories start here is the cutout. You only need a passport to escape. So always keep a lookout for any of these kinds of things that you can cut out of magazines. This pop-up is just a V pop-up, and it has the London Eye, and we really enjoyed writing the London Eye. But one of the things we enjoyed most was going to see Windsor Castle. And you probably can't see it. I have a program in my computer that I can take my photographs and make them into smaller pictures so I can put them in a book like this. But this right here shows that the Queen is actually there because her flag is flying. And so in this gatefold, it has pictures of the eye at night and the London Bridge and just things that you would normally see in London. They were working on Big Ben, and one of the things that we got the biggest laugh over was they have Pound Land. That's like our Dollar General or a Dollar Tree. And it is even laid out the same way as our Dollar Trees are. So on the next page, I have some tea bags and just some pictures while we traveled to York. And while we were there, the London Eye was giving out little books of things that you could spot. And of course, we were there in October, so everything has a Halloween theme. So I'll shut my page. One of the things I really wanted to do was I really wanted to go and see Hadrian's Wall. So we went to see Hadrian's Wall, and as you pull your pull tab, it says, "We walked in the footsteps of ancient Romans." The cutout is one step at a time. When you open it up, there's information about Hadrian's Wall and other abbeys, old ruins that we passed on the way. Of course, we then got to Scotland. And the first place we went was to Edinburgh. And these are pictures from the castle. This is a map. One of the things, it's actually a map of the museum. One of the things that we wanted to do was we wanted to go see Dolly the sheep. And so we did. We also went to the Elephant House, and that's where J.K. Rowling actually started the books, the Harry Potter books. And we ate haggis, and some of us could barely stand the thought of it. Some of us really liked it. One of our friends I thought was going to get sick when she found out what haggis was. Next page, and this is just a V. So those are easy pop-ups that you can make. This is a little teeny tiny house, and it's over a brook. And this is the real picture of the little house right here. And you paid your taxes by the amount of land your house covered. So this man decided that he would build his over water so he wouldn't have to pay taxes. And sure enough, they did not make him pay taxes. We went to Gretna Green, and we saw little toll houses that are still in existence. They're not used, of course, but once upon a time you had to pay a toll. And we went to the Chester, and went to Chester Row, and they built this city or town over old Roman ruins, and they thought that the ghost roamed around. So on the lower level, originally, that was storage houses, because they didn't want to be down there with the ghost. And they built these this really impressive, like a big second porch on the second floor, and that's where the shops were, so they didn't have to ever run into the ghost. And we thought that was really neat. Our guide kept talking about the Highland Coos, and she over and over, the Highland Coos. We were going to see Highland Coos. Well, it turns out a coo is a cow. So those are the long-haired cows that you see up in Scotland. We went to Stratford-upon-Avon and were not terribly impressed, but we went anyway. You know, it was just part of the tour. These were other places we stopped, and beautiful scenery along the way. When you travel, pick up brochures, because brochures are wonderful to put in your memory book. This is Cardiff, Wales, and this is Cardiff Castle. And all around the castle is a wall, and it has, I think there are 15 animals. 15 animals that top the wall. They were really impressive. I loved that. The thing we enjoyed almost the best was we went to a Roman hot bath. And it was not actually on our tour, but we had some time to tour this little town, and so we decided to do that. And hot steam is constantly coming up. The museum there is just wonderful, wonderful. It's at Bath. You need to get into the bath. That was part of a cutout. This time I took a wheel, but instead of the wheel going all the way around, it just goes back and forth, and that's to look like steam coming up. And the water was very hot, so it really was steamy. We happened to be at Stonehenge the day after its 100th birthday in the public domain. Up until then, it had belonged to a family, and it was not in the public domain. And so our tickets were designed especially for the birthday. And so this is not what your ticket would normally look like if you go to Stonehenge. So this pop-up is a pop-up that just pops up Stonehenge. We also, because it was the birthday, they had a life-size blow-up, like a jumpy house. And you could take your shoes off and you could jump all inside the stones. Of course, it's all just plastic. The real Stonehenge is way out in the field. But I thought that was just wonderful. I guess it's the kid in me. So that's some of us. And it was cold. Oh, it was so cold. The wind was blowing. It was just incredibly cold. The next page, we get back to London. We have one more day, and there were a few things that people hadn't seen. So if you hadn't done the eye, they went and did the eye. And here's my little hedgehog again. She decided she wanted her picture on our hotel key. And this is the skyline. And these were all kinds of things that we did. We got to the airport and we thought, oh, this is great. We've just had a marvelous time and nothing could go wrong. And we all went through our customs except for Jamie. Now, Jamie came with us and she's a hairdresser. And we should have known the first day before we left Alabama when she opened her suitcase in the airport and she took out bags of candy and bags of chips and soda and just, you know, it was just wild. I just can't even describe all the stuff she had in this suitcase that she took out. She repacked her suitcase, and so for the whole week she's been buying things. And we get to the nice man at the where you go through, I want to say the checkout place. And he's opening her suitcase. And this is a wheel. And he's going, no, 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 no. And he's throwing all this stuff in the garbage can and saying, no, you can't take that. No, you can't take that. No, no. And she's about to pull out her hair because she's bought all this expensive stuff in London. And finally he says to her, did you check a bag? And she said, yes. And he said, well, let's gather all this stuff up out of the garbage can and let's go and put it all in your check bag. Or you just get this bag and check it as a second bag and take it all home with you, but take it, you know, inside the airplane as a checked bag. So we thought that was just wonderful of him because he let her keep everything. She checked her bag and we got on the airplane and everything went fine. And we made a little passport so that our little hedgehog queen, because she came from the garden at Windsor Castle, so that she could come home with us. So she flew home with us. In the back of your book, always just have pockets so that you can put any extra thing made. You know, if you have money left or whatever, tea, receipts, anything you think might be interesting later, put them in the pockets. Also, once again, I've taken a book. I bought it for $1 at a thrift store, and I've made book fabric. You can look up book fabric, how to make book fabric on YouTube, and go to your fabric store and pick out something that really looks like your subject. And since we were traveling, we were going to London, I thought this would just be wonderful. And we crossed the Atlantic in an airplane. So use a book like that, you know, to put your pop-up book in. It's really easy and it's pretty fast. So go on YouTube and learn how to make some of these simple pop-up things, and they make wonderful, wonderful gifts. If you make 1 or 2 books at a time, you can give them to the people that traveled with you. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will put another one on pretty soon. Thank you.